Story 1. The Caroler Outside My Door. My name is Ethan, and this happened in early January when I was living alone for several days. My partner had gone to visit her family for winter break, and I stayed behind because of work. I lived in a quiet residential area in a small town in northern Vermont. Most of the houses on my street were empty during the holidays, so the entire block felt abandoned. At first, I enjoyed the silence. I planned to relax, watch shows, and enjoy the calm atmosphere. But what happened during that week never left my mind. It was my third night alone, around 7:15 p.m., and it was already pitch dark. Snow had been falling lightly all day, covering my yard and driveway in white. I was in the kitchen making a simple meal, pasta and grilled chicken, while the TV played quietly in the background. While I was eating, I heard something strange. It took a moment to recognize it. Someone was singing. I muted the TV and listened. The sound was coming from outside. As it became clearer, I realized the person was singing Silent Night. The voice wasn't a child's. It belonged to an adult man. I walked toward the front door. With every step, the singing grew louder. By the time I reached the door, it sounded like the man was standing directly on my porch. I opened the door. A man in his late 30s stood under the porch light. He wasn't dressed for the cold, no hat, and his jacket was far too thin. What unsettled me most was that he continued singing while staring at my doormat, as if he hadn't noticed me open the door. When he finished the song, I expected him to leave. Instead, he started singing it again. Same slow, off-key tone, this time staring directly at me. After several minutes, I closed the door. The singing didn't stop. It continued for nearly 10 minutes. When it finally ended, I looked outside and saw him standing at the end of my driveway, completely still, staring at my house. Later that night, I heard the singing again, this time from my backyard, directly beneath my bedroom window. When I yelled that I was calling the police, he stopped singing. Then he ran. Moments later, he began screaming violently and slamming himself into my back door. I called emergency services and hid until officers arrived. They found deep footprints in the snow leading into the woods behind my house. They never found him. Story 2. The Man from the Arena. This happened when I was 7 years old, during the holiday season. I lived with my family just outside Phoenix, Arizona, and I was obsessed with sports. For my birthday, I received tickets to my first professional basketball game. A few days later, we went to another game at a large arena downtown. During halftime, I wandered a short distance away from my family to throw something away. That's when a tall man approached me and asked if I was lost. He took my hand and said he would help me find my parents. Instead, he led me toward an empty upper level of the arena. When he let go of my hand to check his phone, I remembered what my parents had taught me. I ran. Later that night, I saw the same man driving behind our car. That same week, I woke up to a flashlight shining through my bedroom window. Years later, on New Year's Eve, I found a note taped to my window that read, "This year, you'll see me again." To this day, New Year's Eve terrifies me. Story 3. The Men in the Trees. About 10 years ago, my wife Claire, our son Lucas, and I drove into the Appalachian Mountains to cut down a Christmas tree. The area was remote, quiet, and snow-covered. As we walked deeper into the woods, a man appeared behind us, poorly dressed, pale, smiling too much. When we returned to our truck, we discovered our tires had been slashed. While waiting for help, we saw multiple figures standing silently among the trees, slowly approaching. They vanished moments before police arrived. The officers found only footprints leading deeper into the forest. We never returned. Story 4. The Fake Santa. When I was almost 10, my parents left me home alone for a short time before Christmas. That night, the doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw a man dressed as Santa Claus, standing far too close to the door. He asked if I was alone. Then he tried the doorknob. I hid and called my mother. She arrived minutes later and saw the same man walking away down the street. He was never caught. Even now, every Christmas, I remember that night and how close something terrible came to happening.